Well, hello everyone. I realized that there's no one on this live right now because I didn't even tell anyone that I was going live. But I see that YouTube no longer gives you the option to just like record and go straight there and what I want to do, upload it. And I don't feel like doing it from my phone right now and then uploading it and everything. So this is kind of like an impromptu. I know that there is right now only two people on here, so I'm just talking in general. It'll record and someone can go back and watch it later. But I just wanted to go over some general information, answer any questions if anybody had any questions. So, for starters, welcome all the new hires. Yes, I can't wait. If only it was sending y'all to Houston, Lord Jesus. If not, then that means like in 2 years when my daughter graduates high school, then I could finally, um, I'll just transfer somewhere else and where I can hold a line and do that. But for now, I'm happy being home. But oh my God, I would love if they send somebody to Houston. But yes, congratulations. I'm so excited about the company bringing in all these new hires and continuing with training. 2020, 2021 has sucked tremendously, but at least we work for a company that is still, managing to survive. So that's great. I have a job and I'm excited about that. So yay for us. Well, yay, 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 yay. Um, so people were asking me about domiciles, about the no commute policy, and about the benefits. So I'm gonna kind of touch base on that a little bit. A lot of times, a lot of this information is on the group pages, which is great, which is wonderful, especially our new group page. I love it. So someone was asking me about commuting and why can't we commute and the commute policy and everything. Now, I know that when I went through training, we had to sign something stating that we would not commute our first year. With that being said, commuting is different from going home on your days off. So when I tell people you can't commute, but you can go home on your days off, it's really two different things. Someone asked me, well, what's the difference? Well, here's the difference. We do not have a commute policy per se, right? So you're not protected. So if you have to be at work on Monday and your flight is at 12 and you wake up Monday morning 6 a.m., then you look at the flight loads and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to take this 8 a.m. flight. It'll get me into wherever I need to be at 11. And then I just go over to my plane and I work my 12 o'clock flight. And then you get to the airport at your home base trying to get to work, and there's a maintenance delay, there's a weather delay, or they cancel the flight, whatever the reason is. Or say you do get on the flight and you're en route to where you're going, but then something happens and there's a diversion or what have you, and you can't get to your work domicile to start your trip, and no one can contact you or get in touch with you. Either you can't notify anybody that you're not going to make it, or you don't call and they call you and you don't answer. That is commuting to work because you are trying to get to work on the same day as your work trip and you can't get there because of whatever reason. So that is considered commuting. We do not have protection for that. So with that being said, you could lose your job, especially in your first year, because there is a no commute policy. Other airlines, like I have friends that fly for another airline and they have a commute policy. And so long as they list for two flights trying to get to their work domicile, then they're protected. We don't have that. Going home on your days off is different. Can't anybody tell you what you can do on your days off? So when you're off, that's your time. You can travel around the world, go visit your boo, go to your cousins, wherever you want to do on your days off. That's your business. You can go wherever you want to go on your days off. Um, so long as you are back at work when it's time for you to either be on call or for you to start your trip that has been assigned to you. So that is the difference. I live in Houston. I've never moved. I was based in Chicago for 9 months and then Dallas 6 months. And I didn't relocate as far as I didn't change my address. I didn't get an apartment. I didn't have no bills going to Chicago or anywhere. I just managed. I got a crash pad and I came home on my days off. Granted, there were months where I could not even come home because the flights just didn't look right. And it's a freaking job in itself trying to commute because there's a lot of aspects you got to take into account for. You have to look at the weather. So we all have the radar app on our phones. You have to look at the weather, not only where your domicile is and where you live at home, but in between. You need to look at cancellations and delays and weather delays all over the system because your plane that you are taking may not be coming from somewhere where it's nice and sunny and beautiful. It might be stuck somewhere where it's, negative 60 degrees. You just don't know. So you have to take in account like where your plane is coming from. Um, what's the weather going to be like for the next several days if I go home? What else? There's just all that. So you want to download the Flight Aware app, you want to download the Radar app, and you need to look at all the flights that come in and out your home domicile as well as your work domicile. Because you want to see, okay, I live in Houston, Chicago. Like example for me, Houston used to be a corporate headquarters of United. So there was always flights going in and out of Chicago because when United and Continental merged, then the corporate office became, Chicago. So there was always United flights, like every hour going back and forth out of Houston, but they were always full too. So it was hard for me to get out of Houston on United to get into Chicago. I used to have to take American out of Houston to get into Chicago. And then I would bring either United or American home, just depending on the loads. But Frontier flew into Houston, Spirit flew into Houston. Out of Chicago, I couldn't get on Frontier to Houston. I would have to go to Denver, then to Houston. But I've brought Spirit home. So you also want to download um the app that we have. It's in our ePad and it's on Swole of the cabin seat agreements of all the airlines that we can list as cabin seat, that we have cabin seat agreements with that we can list on so you can know what are your choices to get home or get back to work. Let me see what this question is. Lillian, do I know anyone that didn't make it the first time and tried again? Made it as far as applied with Skywest and tried again and made it? Yes, there was plenty of people who didn't get their CJOs the first time and or the second or the third or the fourth and the fifth and kept trying and got it. So if that's what you're asking, then yeah, that happens all the time. It's not uncommon at all. Yeah. Um, let's see what else. So that is the policy about commuting. So you have to, take that in effect. Now, a lot of people lost their job the first year because they were always trying to run back home every opportunity that they had off 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. They tried to go home because they had family, they had pets and dogs, and I get it, I understand. But it's very hard and you can't try to come back if you look on the at the loads and you say, okay, it's 7 flights that day to get me back to work. I'm gonna book for the last flight. There's 100 empty seats. I should get on it. Because anything can happen throughout the day. And then you look up and that last flight out of the day has been canceled. So now you're stuck trying to figure out how you're going to get back to base because you waited to the last flight. So I tell people never wait to the last flight, never, because anything can happen and you don't want that, to happen. And a lot of people um, tried that because they were trying to go home for 1 and 2 days. I know for me, if I only had 1 day off or 2 days off, I rarely came home because by the time I get home, and I wanna sleep. Then I gotta, give family time and catch up on stuff, and then I had to leave the very next day to get back to work, so it wasn't worth it to me. I've done it once or twice because I had doctor's appointments and I needed to be here, but it's really, tiring. Commuting is tiring in itself. Trying to come home and go back with 1 or 2 days, it's just a lot of work. Then after you graduate, crew support builds your schedule for like the first month, maybe even the second month, depending on when you graduate and if you're eligible to be it yet. And so crew support did my schedule for me for my first 2 months, and they put me on PM reserve. So I was on call from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then say I'm off the next day, but today I'm on call, but I'm off tomorrow. I'm on call till 9 p.m. The last flight of out of Chicago left like at 7:30 or 8, so I always missed that flight. I could never get an early release. And then I would have to wait the next morning to try to catch the first flight out. And now I didn't miss the whole day. So it's just a lot that you have to consider. Not saying that it's not doable, because it is doable. You can do it. It's just a lot of work. And you just don't want to lose your job behind that. Your family and everybody is going to have to be very, very, very understanding with this career, because you cannot plan for anything. I remember having that conversation with my mom, sitting down at the table telling her, okay, this is what it is. But she still did not get it. And so, like, I had my daughter would stay with her while I'm at work. And there would be times, and she would say, okay, when you're coming back? And I said, well, I'm gonna be gone for a couple weeks or a couple days or whatever. I'm gonna try to come home on Tuesday. All she heard was, I'll be home on Tuesday. She didn't hear nothing else. So when Tuesday come and if she needs me to do something, it was, where are you? When you gonna be here? What time you gonna be here? What time you get in? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still at the airport. I still gotta try to catch a flight. I can't answer that question. It's not like you had a 9 to 5 job and you clock out at 5, and it's a 30-minute drive and you'll be home at that time. There is no way for me to give you a definite answer, um, what time I'm gonna be there. I can just try to get here. And so it took probably 6 to 7, 8 months for her to just grasp that concept that I'm gonna try my best to get here, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be here. I'll get there when I get there. The hardest part for me was my daughter and with school activities or what have you, and me missing them because I said I would try to be here at this time and I couldn't. And then I would always have to get family or friends to step in my place for me, because I couldn't be there. But that was hard, and it really was hard. I remember having a breakdown about it and crying about it, going like, did I make the best decision? Because I'm missing these events and stuff. And I almost missed one of her birthdays. I happened to get home the same day. And so it did take a toll on me, mentally and emotionally. But my daughter is real supportive. And she was like, Mom, don't quit your job. I know you love your job. It's okay. But I was like, if you want me to quit, I'll quit and I'll wait till you graduate. But she was very supportive. But I would be lying if I tell you that it was not hard. Um, Domiciles right now, anything is possible right now. It used to be a point where we could tell you, oh, you're probably going to Chicago, or you might be going to Dallas or what have you, but they surprising us. We don't know where they sending people to and what the rhyme or reason is. Lately, everybody's been going to, let's see, let me look it up because I wrote it down. I think it's San Francisco, San Diego, Boise, Salt Lake City, Denver. Our Denver base is really, really growing, and they have been consistent throughout the whole pandemic. So their flying has not died down at all. Yeah, Boise, Denver, Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco, and Salt Lake City. Those are where most of the people have been going lately. And I think there's a class that just graduated this past Friday. Our company-wide transfers just went out last night. And so now that the company-wide has gotten their transfers, that class probably will be getting their domiciles to them probably sometime today or tomorrow. If they didn't get them last night, they should get them. So we're curious to see where they're sending them, because most of the classes have been going to those places. And then once you finish your IOE, then you can put in a request to get, somewhere closer to home. Let's see, Lillian, someone who did not pass while in training and reapplied again and made it. Yes, Lillian, there are people who have come to training and failed a test. Um, and were invited to come back and reapply again and came back and have passed. Yes, that has happened. That's common also. Now, it also depends on the reason why you were sent home. If you were sent home for something because of your background check or because you caused, a lot of drama or something like that, then they probably won't invite you back. But if for something like testing, you could always reapply and come back. They don't hold that against you because testing is stressful. That was the most stressful 31 days ever in my entire life, and is one of the reasons why I do not ever plan on going mainline because I don't want to go through that ever again. And that's just me. I encourage anyone else to, follow your dreams, do what you want to do. Um, Try, for any mainline if that's what your goal is, don't get stuck on just being where you're at if you're not happy and you have other goals. But for me, I don't want to go through that ever again. I know what to expect now, but that was when I came home from training. I think I slept. I didn't even unpack my bag for like 2 weeks. I just left it in the corner and it just stayed there. I just got in the bed and I did not want to be bothered. I had to decompress from training. It was mentally and emotionally exhausting in every way. That tried me, that tested me, my patience and everything. So it's rough, but I will say it is doable. You can do it. Everybody has different learning styles. And so for us, we were in, a classroom of 40 something people and everybody's different backgrounds, different learning abilities. And so it was hard. Now you have, from what I gather, you have training in pods, so you're broken up in little pods. You have half virtual, half hands-on, so you're not in this classroom with 40 other people. You're just you and your little group because of COVID. And so I don't know what the virtual learning is like. I know that when I took courses in college online, I, I liked it and I didn't like it. Um, Online for me, learning did not do well for my learning style. I need to be able to be in a classroom and raise my hand and ask questions and not send an email to my professor. But from what I gather, this is more like Zoom learning. So you do have that verbal interaction. You're just not in front of the trainer. So maybe that's the difference. But um, I know it's going to be, kind of hard for everyone adjusting. But at least with that virtual training, you don't have to deal with all the drama that can come with training because you're secluded, you're by yourself, and you may have a group of friends that you're just connected with. They don't want you to do a lot of social interacting because of COVID, and nobody wants to get sick and get sent home. But people, I'm sure, make friends and they have little study groups and stuff like that, and which you're going to need each other, you're going to need to lean on each other, you're going to need your classmates because when you all get sent somewhere that you've never been before, the only people that y'all know is who you know, so you're going to bond and become like a little family, so that's always healthy to have. So I'm sure that the new training style is completely different right now, but I'm sure it's doable. You're welcome, Lillian. What else people were asking about? Oh, benefits. Okay. So everybody across the system, you get Delta, you get United. That is across the board. Everybody gets Delta and United. United benefits are they go by annual, like from January to December. So sometime in December, November, it'll tell you if you're gonna to renew your United, if you're gonna renew your United. If you are not married, you get two companions. Your first companion is $100 fee. Your second companion is $200 fee. I have two companions. My son is my first one because he's over 25 and he's through with college, so he can't be my dependent. And I make him pay his $100 for his fee. And I have a girlfriend on my United as my second companion, and she pays her $200 fee. I'm not paying your fee to be on my benefits. Um, you get to set them up their own account and they can have their own password so they don't need to log into your stuff and they can go book their own trips. And I have it set up to where they have to pay whatever the taxes are for that segment immediately off of their credit card or bank account, not through my payroll deduction. So, like when I book my stuff, I can do payroll deduction. But when they book their stuff, they have to pay those taxes up front. And if they don't make the flight, then they get a refund. Because I learned my lesson. I had my son set up on that, and he was on my payroll deduction. And next thing I know, I get a bill months later because they don't give it to you right away. And it was like 300 and something dollars because that fool was traveling all over first class and everything. And then when I get the invoice for 300 something dollars and I send it to him, he was like, can I give it to you here and there? No, this is about to come out of my paycheck. I need my money. And it ended up coming out of my paycheck and he ended up paying me later. But I said, okay, I'm gonna fix this. So I have him set up to where when he book, he has to pay his stuff up front. I will never do that again. What else? Delta. Delta goes by your hire date. So it is like I was hired in April, so it's from April, to the next April. I have my whole entire family, my kids, my mom, my dad. I have one companion on there. Now, I did not pay my Delta fees last year or this year. I set it up. They're on there, but I didn't activate it because we're not flying Delta. I mean, it was COVID. We weren't going anywhere. So I'm going to pay these fees. And Delta is not, they're not loading. They're not, booking their flights 100%. It's only like 70 or 75%. And so for non-revenue or flying anywhere on Delta standby, it's like I might not get on. So if things change and it goes back to 100%, then I'll go log in and I'll activate it because you can pay your fee anytime. You don't have, unlike United. Delta, if I wait till December to do it, I can do it. But at that point, you have to pay everybody's their fees for everybody. So you don't get the option. You have to pay the whole thing. So I have to pay my annual fee, my mom's annual fee, my daughter's annual fee, my companion's annual fee. Everybody's fees got to be paid at the same time before you can use your Delta benefits. So if you get a base where you fly American and Alaska, then you will have an option to choose American and Alaska benefits as well. If you get an American base, it's good to do it as soon as they offer it to you because it takes few days or maybe a week sometime for them to activate it. So you don't want to have to need American that day to try to get home and then try to call and activate it because it takes a while to get. So you want to start that process as soon as you can. I've never been in an Alaska base, so I don't know what their benefits are like to be honest. If you have access to Swole, if you're already an employee and you have access to Swole, you can go to the travel page and then go to your travel manual and then read um, the all the benefits for all the airlines and how much they cost. Because I would be lying if I told you anything about Alaska because I really just don't know. But like I said, I make people pay their fees. You're not about to be on my benefits, and this money's coming out of my check. So what else? Let's see. You talked about domiciles. We talked about travel benefits. Oh, luggage. Let me tell y'all something. I was broke when I went to training. I was on unemployment because I had got laid off from my job and had been gone on a year. So I moved home with my mom. So I didn't have no money. I was getting unemployment. I went to Goodwill and everything to get pieces for training. And I think I had like $600 to my name when I went to training. So I didn't have a lot of money. My mom gave me one of her little purple, she had a purple luggage set. I took her 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 big rollerboard, and I took a small one. I overpacked. They ended up having to ship stuff FedEx home the day of graduation because I had too much stuff. But we didn't have uniforms either. We just wore business professional attire. So I overpacked. So my friends that work for United, one of them gave me a brand new travel pro that she had gotten from her allotment because they switched from Travel Pro to Tume. So she gave me her Travel Pro, which I still have to this day. It's been 3 years and it haven't ripped, torn, or anything else, but I didn't have to buy it. But if I had to buy me some luggage immediately, that luggage is expensive to me. I didn't have any money. I would have gone to Marshalls or Ross or Goodwill or somewhere like that and bought me a piece of luggage that was compliant until I, started making a little change and could be able to afford um that travel pro. So many people feel like when they become a flight attendant, they need these things that they think that all flight attendants use and carry. And you don't have to have all that to starting off. We understand everybody's broke, especially the first year. So you just need some black luggage. My packet said 21-inch, soft-sided, all black. Um, Even the zipper, part have to be black. Um, so, my Travel Pro was compliant. Um, so that's what I got, and that's what I still have. And then I was at a yard sale somewhere, and I saw they were selling a little piece of luggage, and it was a little, I don't even know, like maybe 15 inches, I guess. And I said, oh, and they wanted like $5 for it, so I bought that. I use that bag sometimes on like my one nights locals or stand ups. I'll use that. And I have another piece of luggage that I use for my 200 trip sometime, and it's small too, but you can't really fit nothing in it. It's good for like maybe 1 or 2 nights. You can fit something in it, but it fits on the 200. I just in 3 years upgraded my lunch kit. I had a e-bags, EBAGGS. I got that from actually have, dang, I think I have three because the first one I ever bought was a little bitty square one. Let me go grab it. I'll be right back. I want to show you. I have on my workout clothes. I'm going to the gym, and after I finish this, I'll be right back. It went all in the video camera, but let me show you. So my very first lunch kit was this. I just got junk in it now. It's square and really nothing can fit in it. I think I used this bag, put my toiletries in my first year. I might have put lunch in it one time and it became my toiletry bag. So I have that. Then I upgraded from that little bag to, oh, that's the new one. This is an e-bag. I upgraded to this one, and it has a zipper compartment up front, has a little zipper compartment up here. It's not really that deep. And then I have my Hot Logic fits in there. This also fits in my purse too. This is my Hot Logic. This will save your life. It took me over 2 years to get one, but Amazon had a special and I bought one. This will save your life. It heats your food up. So sometimes on the plane, when we're stuck on the plane for hours and we can't get off, or we're not going to get in until our hotel until after midnight or something for whatever reason. I'll plug that little thing up, put my food in there, and heat it up on the plane. That way it's nice and hot and I can eat and won't be eating Popeye's chicken in Detroit airport every time we land because that's what I was doing. So I just upgraded my lunch bag to this one, and it was $50 on Crew Outfitters. $50. This is a good deal. Did I get this one off of no, I lied. This was Amazon. I got off Amazon. And this is an e-bag. Let me tell you, this wasn't even. Let me see how much it cost. Let me tell you right now. I hurried up and got this bag, and I was in MSP, and another young lady had it, and I asked her where she got it from, and she told me Amazon. And it was $63 for this bag. And look how deep it is. That is huge. And then it goes on the back of your luggage. This is Travel Pro. It has the little side containers over here and this little top section right there. So this is a good bag. And I bought that bag because I was stuffing my other bag with stuff. Like my last trip was a 4 day and I wanted to pack 4 days worth of food. And I went to HEB and got me some meals and stuff like that and juices or whatever. And it was just stuffed and it was so heavy. And I had to put my Hot Logic in my tote because it wouldn't fit in that little other lunch kit. So I use that. I'll probably either donate my old bag to the closet, uniform closet, or post it once I clean it out, post it on one of the groups for somebody who may need it or whatever. Do my good deed and donate it. And so then I bought this also. I haven't used it yet. It just came. This is a tote. I have a little black purse that I was using as my tote, and I would put my wallet, my eyeglasses, my, cleaning solutions, my makeup, my toothbrush, because I carry a toothbrush and toothpaste and stuff with me because I have Invisalign. So I'm constantly having to take my Invisalign out after I eat and drink and brush my teeth. So I want to take my laptop with me, but it's too heavy when you put it in your suitcase. And I wanted a bigger tote. So I bought a tote that my laptop bag can fit in, and it has a section for your laptop as well as my other little knickknacks that I throw in here. And it's compliant because it's all black and everything can fit in here. So I just got that too. For my next trip, I'll be able to use that. And then in the mail that's coming later today is another Travel Pro that I got off of Crew Outfitters. That one was $50. And that was going to be, I'm going to use that for my local 1 day, 2 day trips instead of me having to carry my rollerboard. So that's what I'm going to use that for. But this took me years to be able to buy this stuff and get it for this price because they were expensive and we don't make that type of money. So it doesn't have to be Toomey, it doesn't have to be Travel Pro, it doesn't have to be nothing, name brand and fancy. You don't have to wear Clarks. I don't wear Clarks because I think when I first started, I bought Clarks because that's what I thought flight attendants wore, and them things hurt my feet. I gave them all away. I do not own one pair of Clarks right now. I got my boots on, winter boots, I got off of Shoe Dazzle. And my other shoes, I think I got from DSW or something like that. Those soft, the, what is it, Clarks, and it was some other brand, Naturalizers. They tore my feet up. They hurt like I don't know what. So they didn't do anything for me, but other flight attendants like them. They wear them and they swear them by them. But you will go through shoes to find the right shoe for you. But I wouldn't start off trying to buy no $100 shoes if you don't have it. If you got it, hey, go for it. But find what shoes work for you. I have my heels, and I can't wear anything over 3 inches anymore. I used to, but the way my arthritis is set up, I can't do it anymore. So my heels are 2.5, some are 3 block heels, and I'm comfortable in those. And then I have some flat that I carry in my tote that I put on when we did service. To do service, I would wear those. And so I think they came from Payless when Payless was open, because they're just for service, and they're the ones that kind of bend. They're flexible or what have you. So don't go break the bank. We're wearing masks, so you don't really even need any makeup. Um, we used to have a policy where mascara and eyeliner was mandatory, but that has changed. I do make up my face from here on up, and I'll just wear sometimes I want to be fancy and throw on some lashes because you got the mask on. We got on our polyester uniform. I just want to jazz myself up sometime. So I'll throw on some lashes and a little pop of color on my eye, or something. But for the most part, I'll just do that from here on up, and some chapstick because those masks are drying out my lips, and you want a good moisturizer, especially winter flying. And drink lots of water. I'm telling you, you're gonna drink a lot of water. Cannot stress that enough, because not only do you bloat on the plane while you're working, going through all those different altitudes, different temperatures, you get dehydrated, you can get bloated, you're gonna need water. Then on top of that, the mask, touching our skin and our face, so you want to stay hydrated, so you won't break out, and then your lips dry out, your mouth dries out, and water is gonna be your best friend. And with me, with these Invisalign, my mouth is already dry, so it's double the mask and the Invisalign. So I stay water and chapstick and Carmex because it's horrible. I have a little discoloration or bump on my chin now from, wearing the mask. So you don't have to go get no red lipstick. All flight attendants don't wear red lipstick. All flight attendants don't wear red nail polish. So don't think that's something that's required. You don't have to wear your hair up in a bun. You can wear braids. You can wear locks. You can wear short hair. You can wear long hair, so long as you can work and it's not interfering with your work. It's just that when you do service, you just need to pin it up, pin it back. These braids they'll get pinned, in a pony, like, for service or whatever. Um, so it won't be in a way, but we're just giving bags away right now and serving drinks on United. So Alaska, I believe, may be doing a lot more service than that. So you'll learn that. So I think I touched base. Let me go and look real quick and see if there was something that I missed out that people were discussing in the group that I could answer. I think that's about it. If you have any other questions, oh, pantyhose. When I started off, I just went to Walgreens and bought me some opaque tights because I had tattoos, and back then you had to have your tattoos covered and they couldn't be seen. And so I wore opaque tights, and those Walgreens opaque tights did some justice for me. They didn't rip or nothing. I kept them for a long time. But I also have, um, what is this, some neurological stuff. So now I wear compression tights, and sometimes I buy them from Amazon, from Nursemaids. And then a few of my friends that fly for United, they don't fly anymore, they would get measured for their compression tights, and they had them made. And so a friend of mine gave me like 6 pair of hers, and so I have those, and they don't rip and do nothing, but they will suck you in. And I wear compression just for my circulation issues, and they do wonders for your legs. So if you can afford some, what you call it, compression leggings, compression tights, compression trouser socks, I would recommend those. That's one thing I would recommend is compression hose. Look at the sizes, because let me tell you, the first pair I ever bought, I swear I was in the gym working out. I was catching Charlie horses and cramps in my feet, in my stomach. fell out the bed trying to put them damn things on because they are hard to get on. And I was just like, F this. This is just too much. You gotta go through all this, put on some pantyhose. I'm just not gonna do it. And so I gave up and I think I gave them away. But what I found out was I had the wrong size. So when my girlfriend gave me the ones that she had, now I can put them on with ease. But the other ones, oh, I was sweating. I mean, sweat was coming up my forehead, my neck, and everywhere else trying to put them things on. I was like, this don't make no sense for somebody to go through all this for some pantyhose. But they feel good on your legs. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm not gonna lie. And your shoes, again, make sure they have the black soles. What is it? The rubber soles or the slip resistant sole. Because I'm gonna tell you, I fell off a shuttle bus one time, and that wasn't cute at all. And it was wet and kind of snowy like outside. And even though the captain was holding on my elbow to help me down, I always look down because I have arthritis and so my knees hurt sometimes. And so I take my time getting off the step. And I'm looking at the step and I see the step, but I think it was because I had on some new progressive lenses right here that had me running into stuff and seeing stuff that look higher or further away than what it needs to be. I think I missed the step. I thought I touched it, but all I know is my foot went down on that bottom step, and when I looked up, I was on the ground, slid from the shuttle all the way up to the almost to the door of the hotel. My purse was underneath the van. My cell phone had fell out the purse. It was one way. My other luggage, my other little lunch kit was the other way. And everybody was like, oh my God, what happened? I don't know what happened. I look like one of them chalk outlines from the movies when somebody is dead and the police come in and all you see is a little outline of the body with the arm out here, the head facing this way, the leg this way. That's what I look like after. And them compression tights, let me tell you, they didn't rip at all. Okay, those some good old tights right there. Cause they didn't scratch, they didn't rip, they didn't tear. And I had on a dress and I slid. And them compression tights didn't do jack. I need to do a review for them because them things worked wonders because I towed that float up. And after I got up and everybody was like, you okay? You all right? Everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I was fine. I couldn't do nothing but laugh at myself because I looked a hot mess. I looked a hot mess laid out on that pavement like that. And so make sure you have on the right shoes. And to make the situation worse is I had just came from my doctor like a week ago, a week before that, and had to have a bone density test. And she called me my results and told me that my body is prone to breakage or weak because I have weak bones, something in my back because of my arthritis, and that I needed to go to counseling or therapy for fall prevention. I was like, what? What is that? What kind of therapist is that you gotta go see for fall prevention? What kind of job is that? That sounds like an easy job. I need to do that job because I never heard of that before. I was like, people actually go see somebody for fall prevention. It's like, I'm not going nowhere for no fall prevention. And then what happened? A week later, I fell on my ass. Anyway, so that is my story. So make sure you have some good shoes so you won't end up like me, face flat down in pavement. And you have your good lunch kit to pack for 4 days. You will run into some issues at hotels where they don't have refrigerator, but we're supposed to get refrigerator, or they don't have a microwave to heat up your food. So a hot logic will do you some justice and come in handy to get you a hot logic. If I tell you anything to invest in, it's a hot logic and some good pantyhose, ladies. Good pantyhose and that hot logic. But everything else that's expensive, just wait for it and get it in pieces if you can. Other than that, thank you if you're still here and watching. I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk about a few things. And as always, I will see you guys in the friendly skies and take care. Bye.